Hey guys, in this session we're going to be looking at equations in fraction form part 2. So let's have a look at some of these questions. So what we'll be looking at is something very similar to these types of questions. And I guess one thing that's worth remembering is that in the previous example that I showed you guys, I talked about how you can actually get rid of that 5 as a denominator. So you'd actually multiply every term by 5. You can still do that, because if you do that, what you end up with is the two 5s cancel out, and you end up with 3x plus 2 equals 30. Now at this point, well, we can just rearrange it normally. We can expand the brackets, or we can just get rid of the 3 on the other side, which will become 30 divided by 3. So x plus 2 equals to 10, and x equals to 8. Now that's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is this. When you have a fraction, so say for example you have a over b equals c over d, right? Just as an example, when you have one fraction equals another fraction, this is the only time you can actually do cross multiplication. So you can actually rewrite this as AD equals to CB. Cool. Let's see if that actually works out for this particular example. I'm going to run out of space, but I'll use it here. So I've got 3 multiplied by x plus 2 over 5 equals 6. Now remember that 6 is actually just a number. You could actually say that 6 divided by 1 is still 6. So at this point I can do cross multiplication, and what I end up with is 3x plus 2 equals to 6 times 5, and so you end up with 3x plus 2 equals 30. And what you should notice is that this is the same as what we got here. So it doesn't matter which way you go, guys, you're still going to end up with the same answer in the end. Okay, let's have a look at a few more examples. So what happens when you have 6 minus x, but this time you've got no denominator? Well, we know that what we can do is we can rewrite this as 6 minus x divided by 1, and now we can do cross multiplication. So what we'll end up with is 7x minus 3 multiplied by 1 equals to 4 multiplied by 6 minus x. So at this point, we need to expand the brackets and then solve for the equation. So we got 7 times x times 1. Well, we don't really need to worry about the times 1. So 7 times x is 7x. 7 times negative 3 is negative 21. Equals 4 times 6, which is 24. And 4 times negative x, which is negative 4x. So rearranging this, we're going to get 7x. Negative 4x when it comes to the left-hand side will become plus 4x equals 24. And of course, negative 21 when it comes to the right-hand side will become plus 21. So what we're ending up with is we've got 11x is equal to 45. And then x is equal to 45 divided by 11. So that's my answer for this particular question. All right, let's have a look at another example. There we go. Well, maybe you'd like to actually try this. Actually, let's do that, guys. Why don't you pause this video right now and have a go at this question by yourself. Okay, so I'm assuming you've had a go at this. So what I'm going to do is, because it's one fraction equals another fraction, I will cross multiply. So what I'll end up with is 4 multiplied by 4x minus 1 equals 7 multiplied by 6 minus x. Now I just want to point out one thing to you guys here. It's really important that you actually put a bracket here, because the most common mistake I've seen people do is they write it like this. So they go 4 times, sorry, let me just rewrite that. So they'll write it like this: 4 times x minus 1 equals 7 times 6 minus x. And the mistake people do is that they actually just multiply 7 times 6 and then they forget about the x. That's why it's really important that we actually put this brackets around here. Okay, so now let's expand this. So we got 4 times 4, which is 16. So that's going to be 16x minus 1 equals 7 times 6 is 42. 7 times negative x is negative 7x. Now 16 times x is 16x minus 16 equals 42 minus 7x. So rearranging this, we've got 16x, negative 7x when it comes to the left-hand side is plus 7x, equals 42, and minus 16 when it comes to the right-hand side is plus 16. When we simplify this, we have 23x is equal to 58, and so x is equal to 58 divided by 23. And that's my answer for this. All right, guys, one more question and see how you guys go with this. But this time, I'm going to put the x's in the denominator. All right. So once again, let's have a look. Is it actually one fraction that equals another fraction? Yes. That means we should be able to do cross multiplication. So when we do cross multiplication, we've got 6 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 plus x equals 4 multiplied by 2 minus x. And once again, notice how I'm putting those brackets, because those brackets are important. Without those brackets, you're going to end up with the wrong answer. So we've got 6 times 3, which is 18, and then 18 multiplied by 2 plus x. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times negative x is negative 4x. Now expanding this bracket here, 18 times 2 is 36, plus 18 times x is 18x, equals 8 minus 4x. Okay, let's rearrange so that x's all come to one side. We've got 18x, negative 4x on the right hand side. So on the left hand side is plus 4x, equals 8. 36 on the left hand side will become minus 36 on the right hand side. So we've got 18 plus 4, which is 22x, and then 8 minus 36, which is negative 28. So therefore, we can say that x is equal to negative 28 divided by 22. And that's basically it, folks. All right, guys, that's all for this short little session here. If you have any questions or comments, pop it in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.